What's up guys? My name's Curtis and welcome to 5-Minute Finance, where I take personal finance topics and explain them to you in 5 minutes or less. If you guys have never heard of the FIRE movement, the acronym stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The idea is that you save and invest a very large portion of your income, sometimes above 75%, so that you can retire in your 30s or 40s, significantly sooner than the traditional retirement age of 60 to 65. Those who are part of the FIRE movement are extremely good at keeping their expenses low and also finding ways to boost their income. It may seem pretty obvious, but the higher your income and the lower your expenses, the quicker you can achieve financial independence. Financial independence being the point at which the money that you have invested can cover your expenses for the rest of your life. Increasing your income isn't always easy to do, but just about everybody can find ways to lower their expenses. Not only will lowering your expenses mean you have more money left over at the end of each month to invest, it also means you need a smaller total nest egg in order to consider yourself financially independent. Although all FIRE participants agree that you should do whatever you can to widen the gap between your income and your expenses each month, there's actually a few subcategories within the FIRE movement. First, there's what's called F.I.R.E. The idea is to save as much of your money as long as you can so that you retire with a retirement income north of $200,000. The main drawback with F.I.R.E. is that you either have to work a lot longer than other people within different FIRE subcategories, or you need a significantly higher income than most people, which often is easier said than done. Next, pretty much the opposite, is called lean FIRE. This form of FIRE is all about lowering your expenses as much as possible. This allows you to retire with a significantly lower value nest egg than some other people. However, the standard of living is going to be lower. A lot of people that choose the lean FIRE method could often be considered as minimalists. Third, there's Barista Fire. In Barista Fire, you have some money saved up and you retire from your traditional job. However, the money that you have invested isn't going to fully cover your expenses each month. So that you then work a different job, it's probably lower income and less stressful, such as a barista, to cover the remainder of your expenses. But you are still considered retired. Lastly, we have my favorite form, which is called Coast FIRE or Coasting Financial Independence. With this one, you build up your investment portfolio to a point that if you didn't touch it and you waited until retirement age, in retirement, those investments will have grown to a point that they can cover your expenses. Since I mentioned you don't touch those investments from when you retire early until you reach retirement age, you then only need a job that pays you enough to cover your current expenses. You then let the best tools that you have, time and compound interest, work for your investment accounts. Each of these different forms of FIRE have their pros and cons, and there's not one that really is good for everybody. Whether or not you yourself think you want to participate in the FIRE movement, I believe everybody can learn a little bit from those people who try to become financially independent as early as possible. Just about everybody out there could find a way to lower their expenses. And if you're creative and ambitious, there's no reason you can't work on a side hustle that either now or in the future is going to supplement some of your income. Lastly, in my opinion, the FIRE acronym, although it's kind of catchy, doesn't always portray exactly what these people are trying to achieve. The FI portion, financial independence, is something that I think everybody should try to strive for. But I think the RE portion, retire early, can get a little bit misconstrued. Retire early might sound like, hey, you've reached 30 or 40 years old and you're financially independent and you never work again. Although I'm sure there are some lazy people out there that would love to just quit their job at 30 and never work again. Most FIRE participants, once they reach financial independence, either continue working because they love what they do and then their nest egg can just grow that much bigger, or they simply switch to a different, more enjoyable career that might come with a lower paycheck. So a lot of people, although they reach that financial independence retire early milestone, they actually continue working just on things that they enjoy. So even if you love your current job and you never plan on retiring, I still think there's a lot that people can learn from the FIRE movement. Lower your expenses if possible, save and invest as much as you can, and try to become financially independent as early as possible. Your life will be much less stressful and it'll open the opportunity to do what really makes you happy. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It'd really help me out and consider subscribing. Thanks.